Alright, hey guys, how we doing? We're back on another video from Taku, and I'm excited for this. There's some videos I wanted to watch for a while, but obviously I hadn't seen Season 2 of 7 Deadly Sins, and then Season 2 of 7 Deadly Sins has been on Netflix, I've watched it, and now there's 7 Deadly Sins related videos I can watch. Yay! Nux has done one on Escanor. I love these OP videos that he does, and this is going to be good, because this was one hell of a way to introduce an overpowered badass. The title of this video is How to Introduce an Overpowered Badass, Escanor versus Galand, and oh my freaking god, it worked. It totally worked. Let's just get straight into this.
Lord Escanor.
Yes.
Hero name Overpowered.
Nice.
Quirk. Son for all.
That's great.
Obviously, every time an
Awesome.
overpowered character is introduced, it triggers a slightly different emotional response.
Yeah.
They are introduced with, hopefully, different personalities, and the most important nuanced differences in these introductions is a difference in perspective. Because since we don't yet understand this new character, we have to rely on the perception of him in the eyes of his allies and his foes to try to make out exactly the weight he imposes upon the story. If said overpowered character is a good guy, it usually should be making me go, oh my god, he is so freaking powerful!
Yeah, it should, yeah.
And if he's a bad guy, it's usually aimed to make me go, oh my
no.
god, he is so freaking powerful.
Yeah.
That's right, I'm Taku, the most eloquent anime YouTuber of all time. But my point is, the 7 Deadly Sins does a lovely job with character introductions,
Yes.
and with the characters' reactions to Escanor's introduction. But what's even more impressive is how his first impression in the minds of the viewers perfectly envelops our perception of the narrative and what it contains. Today, on the OP Done Right analysis series, we'll be covering the perfect introduction of Lord Escanor, the Lion Sin of Pride of the 7 Deadly Sins. Honestly, when I decided to make this video, at first I thought to myself, nah, I'll wait until I can make a full analysis on the guy, but I wanted to talk about him so damn badly.
It's so good.
Alone. I
So
love
good.
Escanor. Hashtag no homo. You know what? No. Hashtag all the homo. This is the beauty
Yeah.
of how to introduce an OP character. Me feeling such a passion to talk about a character more than any other in recent times is a testament to a perfect introduction of
Brilliant.
an OP badass. And my friends, that is the power of the 7 Deadly Sins anime. Escanor
It's
is
good.
the OP embodiment of the entire anime's passion and burning excitement culminated into one being.
My
Aside
God.
from being extremely awesome, Escanor's introduction subtly answers every plot hole in the series, not via gratuitous individual debuffs, but via acknowledgement, by simply brushing them off. The way the 7 Deadly Sins anime is set up, I can't talk about the plot or the world building for more than 5 minutes between them without getting bored. But that being said, I can talk about every single character, every
yeah.
feat, every introduction, and every interaction for hours.
Oh yeah, this is
The
amazing.
ultimate
Characters are
culmination
amazing.
of all of that is Escanor versus Galand. Power
So
scaling
good.
wise, the 7 Deadly Sins are all over the place. And that's likely the series' weakest link, especially in its first season, where beginner's rock ran rampant. And the first time any sin was introduced, he was far stronger than he would be in every upcoming battle.
Yeah.
Leota's losing
So
to Galand in
true.
a fight, but King
Kick
Peter
ass now,
was
and then
just
2 episodes
too much
later,
to
oh
handle
no,
for many
I can't do
people.
anything.
And I believe that to be the purpose of the Dragon Ball style scouter introduced in season 2,
Yeah.
so to some extent we can understand basic power levels. But not only does it now hasten my trust in a cohesive plot, but it also serves the purpose to fully ground you into the revelation of the Sun Lord. I'll be coming back to basically everything I said until this point, because yes, that's all information that everyone needs to have readily available to analyze the emotional response of Season 2, Episode 14 of the 7 Deadly Sins, when Escanor popped out.
Oh,
Before
so good.
bumping into the little guy, everyone was thinking of him as an all-might, well, tall might, to be more precise. The previous episode established that after Meliodas reclaimed his lost power and got literally 10 times more powerful in a heartbeat. And no, not the Goku-style multiplier, where despite that nothing majorly changes after the arc ends, because no matter after the multipliers, Krillin still fought Goku Blue, even if Goku Blue wasn't really trying that
Yeah,
hard.
it's still
and
something
despite the
weird about that.
multipliers, they do not affect the destruction of the landscape. So while Dragon Ball uses power power evolution, and within every arc it feels pretty freaking cool. Eliminating the Scouters from Dragon Ball was definitely the right move.
Definitely.
It can only further fuel the power
It's like,
inconsistencies we see.
makes no
Because of
sense.
this, there is an emotional disconnect between the viewers and the power levels of the newly introduced Dragon Ball characters, so the Scouter was eliminated. However, Seven Deadly Sins has a different approach to the Scouter, and since the Scouter, power consistency actually began, where a number value holds so much weight, you're not gonna see every good guy get 500 times stronger in a heartbeat.
No.
So when Meliodas gets 10 times stronger, and says it's time to find Escanor, who is still more powerful than he is, the leader of the Seven Deadly Sins himself. At this point, the entire fan base collectively developed the quirk, Stand for Or.
It's like,
we
what?
completely believe Meliodas, yet we've never even conceived this possibility. Furthermore, Escanor's also human. Every member of the Seven Deadly Sins has intrigued us and blown our minds
Got
with their
something weird
tremendous
about 'em.
power, and the depths of their power is explained in the fact that they're each a different race that far overshadows the even extremely powerful of the humans. We don't really know what Merlin is yet, even in the manga, so calm down, people.
Right, okay.
But that aside, how can the human Escanor be the strongest sin? This is in the mind of everyone before we get introduced to Lord Escanor, the mightiest disciple of the great Lord Twigo himself. Contrasts and perspective is a fascinating writing tool that causes every viewer to completely zone in and completely reassemble and reassess the situation that they thought they understood. So after not only Meliodas hyped Escanor, the common hazard of manga spoilers floating around actually worked in the favor of the Seven Deadly Sins at this point, because most of us don't seek out spoilers. So while most of us probably have overheard that Escanor is the most powerful and fan favorite of the Sins, it's not like we actually got spoiled by his power or by who he is.
Right.
Ditto ever served the purpose to
Well, because we knew
every
anyway he was
fiber
going to be
of our
super OP.
beings to the max, and our
Just the way they
Escanor
did it.
boners were slowly developing the quirk, Come for All. Oh my god, I love this meme. That's when we meet a meek-minded, shivering old dude that recognized Ban. That little wimpy guy was the legendary Escanor. We have seen wimpy old dudes end up possessing crazy powers.
Oh yeah, Master Roshi.
In fact, most Japanese old dudes happen to be Kamehameha level. But as time went on, we realized that this just wasn't the case. He ineffectively hit his friend.
I was like, there's something going on here.
Sight of his foes. Galand of Truth challenged him to a game that sealed his fate, and he was knocked unconscious for hours on end by a pat on the back. All this is a contrast. A blatant miscorrelation to how we expect
It's a misdirect.
Escanor. But even more importantly, it's a massive contrast to the entire series thus far. Beginner's Rook is an important tool to introduce the characters. And that's when the sun rises. And with it, so does Escanor, picking up the axe that Galand couldn't
even pick it up, yeah.
with a mouth full of pride. Both Galand and the Sun Lord both start laughing, and here is why I love Seven Deadly Sins interactions. Look at the psychology here for just a minute. Galand's laugh is coming purely from arrogance and extreme confidence, whilst Escanor's, oh jeez, I always wanted to say whilst Escanor's follow-up chuckle does not give the air that it even stems from pride, his sin. Yet it's rather a polite, jovial laugh, since
It is,
Galand was
like,
laughing,
haha,
so
yes,
Escanor will
you
laugh
believe
as well.
that you can
As of
win
now,
me, so.
Galand took over the screen by being a far more prominent force, and how our extremely heightened senses that we've possessed since the sun rose for the first time wavered greatly. We were waiting for this. This was supposed to be Escanor's big moment. Yet as far as sheer prominent presence, Galand far outclassed that of Escanor. And in our moments of hazy thought, the screen cuts directly from Escanor's chuckle to Galand already being split viciously in half and his remnants flying across the room.
They did it so quickly. Brilliant.
This was, in my opinion, one of the best of the Seven Deadly Sins hype scenes.
Such a, like, just straight up, just like, whoa.
Without spoken words, he definitively conveys the emotional roller coaster of every situation. This is a series that you have to listen with your heart first and your mind second. That's exactly why the slight power scale inconsistencies don't bother me nearly as much as they do in most shonen. Now, I don't want to dwell on the rest of his scenes to this degree, but the exact quantity of his battle here is the perfect amount to introduce his character. His initial blow.
It was good as well for us to see that, like,
not even phasing the past,
when the commandments failed their
further widen
thing,
the
yeah,
power
does
gap
actually affect
between
them.
the Sun Lord and both Galand and Meliodas. Escanor's second attack was incomplete because Galand selected absolute death over being blasted to oblivion, which means he had no doubt that there would be no remnants of himself remaining. This serves the purpose to not clarify the amount of force behind his attack, retaining max hype for his next battle. And finally, his immobile standoff with the Soul Sucker Demon Bitch showed that this guy is not just brute force.
No,
but
it's like she
nothing
can't
can
even
touch him.
handle his
Lord
soul.
Escanor is the sin of pride, and he wears that title well. Like each of the other 7 deadly sins, it's a title befitting of him. Nothing we see can shake his unwavering pride. Also, if you take note, the sin of each sin represents not only their personalities respectively, but also their greatest weakness in their story, their greatest flaw. Meliodas has to suppress wrath in order to withhold himself from consuming everything around him as an example. So despite the fact that unleashing his wrath is also his greatest strength, it remains his Achilles heel as well. Just like we can look at Escanor's pride as a source of awe and power, but we retain the lingering thought of his single most abstract weakness. These are the 7 deadly sins after all, and their story represents that exactly. It's their greatest weakness, but it can become their greatest asset, as all of our individual weaknesses can as well. I mean, look at me. I'm a deep-thinking, sarcastic weirdo, and it took a long time to actually, instead of suppress it, embrace it and make it.
Oh, you should always embrace like your
and I still improve constantly, and that's the idea. To the point that I cringe every time I rewatch a video of mine, even if it's only a month old. You're all weird too. That's what makes you you.
Yeah.
It's not something to run from, it's something to master.
Oh,
That's the
definitely.
lingering thoughts in everyone's mind that solidifies the introduction of Escanor, greatest disciple of Lord Twigo, and with abilities passed down the Armstrong line for generations. It's one of my favorite anime entrances of all time. Time to get working on that philosophy of the 7 deadly sins video. Meanwhile, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you
Very
did,
good.
please leave a like and subscribble if you're interested in more deep power analyses as well as philosophical analyses. Oh, and of course, can't forget the satire meme content. Yeah, as I've mentioned, thou shalt embrace thy madness. Link to my Twitter is in the description, right next to my Patreon.
I would highly recommend following Nux on Twitter. He has some interesting posts.
Taggers, you, Colton Scott, and an anonymous human being who I still love. The Lord Tweegers, Ilumsan and Galactic, and the God Usopp Tier, the superior life form, Ezedric and JD Fincher. Link to my Patreon in the description. I really appreciate you taking your time to check out this video. I love you guys. Stay weird, fam.
Oh, that's it. Oh god. Here we go. Ha. Don't know why I like doing that. That was cool. Escanor's awesome. Like, it was such a good intro, and he's done a couple more Escanor videos. It's the how to OP and OP or something like that. It's basically when Escanor fights that other dude, one of the 10 Commandments, and they're just like, yeah. And then the philosophy of Escanor, like no one understands him. I think I'll do those next, may as well, because he's such an interesting character. He's so freaking cool. And Nux always has some interesting things to say, and it's quite funny as well. I find it quite entertaining. So, yes, thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos, and I'll see you guys. It's all you guys next time. Bye.